Hi, my name is Connor, and this is my 10-month update on hormone replacement therapy. Um, as far as physical changes, I do feel like it's gotten to a point where it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what's changing, or if anything, it more so feels like just a progression of the changes that have already occurred. But then again, I don't really notice it too much myself. Because I also think it's hard to notice anything when you're battling dysphoria. So I guess this video is going to be more of just like a life update and how I'm doing. So I've just been working a lot. I work as a barista in Los Angeles, which is nice because I feel busy and I like making coffee and I like the people I work with. I often really wonder, I've only worked at this place for like the past 2 months, and so I really wonder if all of my coworkers know that I'm trans or don't know, because we've never talked about it. And I don't think anyone's ever called me he, even though my mind convinces me sometimes that like someone said he, but really I think they didn't. But it's just hard because at my last job, kind of like the first, which was like the first, like 5 or 6 months of transition, like I do feel like with my coworkers, it was like most of them were like pretty good with it and would always say she, but there were a few times where they would like slip up. And then there was one person I worked with at that job who was like, would call me he like 80% of the time. And so I always like dreaded working with this person. Not that I like dislike this person, like I always try to remind myself like maybe they just like, I don't know, don't get it or having like a difficult time with it. But it would be so uncomfortable though when this person used to always like, call me he all the time and then be like, so Connor, are you gonna have a hot girl summer this year? And I would just be like, ugh, like I know you want to call me he, just say it. But it hasn't happened at this job, which makes going to work so much nicer. And also like none of my coworkers really have ever seen me without my mask. I mentioned in my last video about this guy who comes into my work pretty often, and he's always like kind of flirty and whatever. And he still comes in. He still is like pretty flirty for the most part. Like the other day, he was like, "Oh, you should come play tennis with me sometime." And I was like, "Oh, I probably don't know how." And he was like, "That's okay, I'll teach you." And then everyone at work like knows, and they'll always like joke and be like, "Your boyfriend came in today. He was asking about you." And I don't know, like of course like I have such like a desire right now to have a partner and experience that, because I never have in my life ever been in a relationship, and I really haven't been on like a real date, I feel like. I mean, I've definitely have had like sexual experiences with men, but it's always been kind of like, I so badly want to like stay the night with someone and like wake up next to them. And that's never happened. Like it's always like, okay, you can leave now. And then I cry after. Um, but I don't know. I know I shouldn't, but like I just look at so many cis girls that I know or grew up with, and how, and even the boys too, just like how, especially with straight people, um just how it feels like relationships happen, and most people do experience them for the most part before like 25. And so I think I just feel like insecure and sad about that. but I think I just have to remind myself, like, I'm still so early in my transition, and yeah. And also I still have this beard, but it is getting so much better, and I have laser hair removal tomorrow, which I think I've been doing it now for like 15 months or something, because I started it before hormones. And there's definitely been like a major reduction in hair, but like I literally just like shaved before this video, and there still is like hair, and it's not just like one or two. So I'm just like so ready for that to be gone. I've read a lot about how like sometimes transition can kind of like consume your entire life, and how it's really good to try and keep hobbies or like other interests as well, because I've read that like some people will focus so hard on their transition for years and years and years, and then they get to this point where like they've kind of done everything they can, and like they've been on hormones for a long time, and then they're kind of like, well, what do I do now? Like, you know, I still have all this life to live. And so I've been thinking about that a lot, and like I think I have like really let transition consume my life, but I think I kind of just, you know, want to give myself, you know, I got a couple more months till the end of my year on hormones, and then really encourage myself to like live life, even if I don't feel totally confident or comfortable yet, because honestly, who knows if that I think you have to become comfortable with not being comfortable. So yeah, I also really enjoy reading all of your comments, so please leave more. Tell me about your life, how you're doing, what's going on, and thanks for watching. Okay, bye.